Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing an update on my ETC project pan. So these are kind of like my project uses, a pan and everything, a little bit of sprinkled stuff, like my few things that I have that aren't a part of my pan that palette or my project 100 pan. These are really my usage, just trying to kind of sprinkle the love around my collection project pan. So we'll go ahead and get into it. I do have I have a palette that was a project 20 uses, I have a palette that's project 100 uses, and I have a palette that's pan and everything. So we'll kind of go in that order. We'll first talk about my Winky Lux palette that I went ahead and I used for 20 times. I hit that goal. So now this one can be rolled out. This is what it looks like. You can see some disturbance in pan, which is great. That's one thing that I really love to see. This was a palette that I really wasn't over the moon about. It just didn't make sense to me with how I was supposed to use it. Kind of still doesn't. I mean, I know I get this row, that one I get. And I kind of would use these two together. I would use this and then top it off with that. This I would always use as an inner corner highlight, but it really didn't bring a pop, so it was kind of weird. And then obviously this cream shade I just would always set my eyeshadow primer with or do my brow bone highlight with. But other than that, it still wasn't something that, even after 20 uses, I wasn't oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I mean, there were some looks, I understood certain looks that I got out of it, and yeah, but it wasn't easy, I guess. It wasn't everything I needed was right here in this palette. Either way, it's done with for right now. I can put this back in my collection knowing that it's been touched at least 20 times and it's been loved, and yeah. The next thing that I was gonna bring in to replace it is my pigment in Sun Pepper. This isn't the whole pigment, but I did want to go ahead and bring it back, put it in this little container so it's easier to pick up and use. And I want to use this 20 times. However, right now, all of these are on hold because my inventory my makeup inventory I do in October. I have a couple of, basically one little palette that I really want to use up, and I feel I'm pretty close on it as well. So I'm kind of putting this on hold, and we're focusing on that until either it's used up or until the makeup inventory, one of the two. And then I'll bring these back in. And then we'll do my project 100 pan. So this is the Real Her Volume 3 I Feel Beautiful palette. This actually already had, went through my pan and everything portion of this project, so I had already hit pan in every single shade of this, and now I'm using it 100 times, and I am focusing on just certain shades for this 100 time to see if I can use them up. Pretty close on a handful of them. So here is what it looks like. I'm sure you can tell, but Flawless is what I use to set my primer with, and then Enchanting is what I use for my transition shade. Impeccable is what I use for my lid shade. Perfect, I kind of go as my brow bone highlight. I use another inner corner because there's nothing in here that really pops in my opinion. And then Divine I use to deepen out / define some lash line stuff. So yeah, this is what we're working on. We're pretty dang close on a few of these. What would be absolutely amazing in my opinion is if I could use up the shadows I'm working with on my Pan That palette and then have a little bit of extra time to be able to maybe get at least this shade and this shade out. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, I'm on 48 uses on this, so I mean, I think maybe 75 uses is whenever we can, at least maybe when one of these two shades will be done. We'll see. This one was repressed and then re-hit pan on, so not too much left, yet it always surprises me. It still keeps going. Okay, and then next we have my Blink and BoxyCharm Electric Eyes palette. So this is the one that I have for my pan and everything. I'm trying to hit a pan in every single one of these shades. So last time my focus was on this deep brown shade, and now guess what, right here, there is pan, yay. And then I'm still using this as my inner corner highlight when I use this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and focus on this, which does work out. I have my Chocolate Bonbons palette. I have a shade in there that has a bright pink, so I can go ahead and use for a transition shade. It gives me a really pretty bright pink look. It reminds me very much of my Anastasia Beverly Hills modern Renaissance days. So yeah, I really like it, but it will be quite a long time because actually it's a very deep pan. So it'll take a while. But what will be great is one day, whenever I hit pan on all these, I can go ahead. The plan is to go ahead and then put this as 100 uses. So that way it kind of like dwindles it down a little bit, and eventually we'll put it in a pan that palette. So that's kind of the plan right now. I think also, I will say, so many people have said, you should just put the realer as like a pan that palette. Yes, it is going to be a pan that palette, don't you worry. But I want to get the 100 uses on it to see how far we can go, and then I will push it into my pan that palette. I mean, here's the thing, I'm panning this palette. I'm panning it. You know, all of this, all of my eyeshadows, I want to eventually do a pan that palette. It's just like kind of like the motions that I'm taking to include it, because most of the time whenever I do my pan that palette, the past few years that I've been doing it, they're all palettes that I've had like little to no progress on, and mainly that's just what my collection is. I took in a lot really quickly, and so nothing really had any progress on anything. It was like light usage on everything, and now I'm very much in the mode of like, I want to go ahead and use up my palettes. So this is kind of my way of just like starting to, you know, use them and like get lots of like progress on it, so that way when we do go in to count the pan that palette, instead of it taking like 4 years to finish a palette, it's, you know, it'll maybe just be the 1 year once we get there, or even less. That would be even great, even better. So we'll see. But that's where we're at with my with this project. I hopefully will come back sooner rather than later with an update, but you know, I don't know. I think it'll take me all the way up to October to finish the shades that I want to finish in the IBY Beauty, and then, you know, we'll come back basically when either I get the 20 uses on this, or when I get pan hitting this, or maybe whenever I like finish a shade or hit my 100 uses. So we'll see. We just have to see when we'll come back, but we will come back hopefully by the end of the year. Let's put it that way, for a little update. So this is like my slow, you know, casual project that I'm doing. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all are enjoying, and I hope you all are loving your project pan and pan those palettes and all the ETC project pans that you have going on. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.